With just over 24 hours until kickoff, the countdown is on to one of the most anticipated games of the season. It's the Panthers taking on the Storm. It's 1v2. Let's go.
Thursday night on Fox League, a must-see blockbuster. The Penrith Panthers and the Melbourne Storm.
No way! No way!
These Panthers, a modern-era sensation, chasing a fourth straight premiership against the last side to stop them, Craig Bellamy's Storm. With finals just around the corner, it's 1v2 at the foot of the mountains. The freakish Nathan Cleary back-steering the champion side, loaded with skill, speed and power.
Nathan Cleary!
But in Bellamy, there's a coach that over and over again has produced the toughest team for 20 years straight.
Hey guys, get to the position early.
And those superstars, Cameron Munster, Harry Grant and Ryan Pappenhausen, all back on deck.
Superstar!
All ready to spoil Jerome Luai's farewell party. With September looming, the ultimate test right here for these premiers. Thursday night, live on Fox League, the best of the best, the Panthers and the Storm.
What a game this is set to be. Panthers v Storm live and ad break free right here, Thursday 7 p.m. on Fox League. It sets up to be a blockbuster. Both Edwards and Fisher-Harris back for the Panthers. Huge inclusions. Who has the advantage here? Who do you think is going to get the win, Jimmy?
I think Penrith have got the advantage. Those two boys coming back are absolutely huge. What they've done for this Penrith team so far, absolutely enormous. Edwards obviously in state of origin as well. Fisher-Harris at test level. These two are huge inclusions, and I think the scales just slightly tip in favour of the Penrith Panthers with these two coming in. Yes, absolutely.
What a game. Cannot wait. I think where Penrith do lose a little bit is Liam Martin suspended and also Scott Sorensen, who's been an unsung player for them for a number of seasons now. But you're right, to get the two big-name, big guns back into the setup, being at Penrith, it certainly is an advantage there. But the Melbourne Storm, I'll tell you what, their record in big games, they beat Penrith earlier this season.
It was their best game, I think.
They've been a little clunky over the course of the last month, but we've seen this previously, and then they go crack-bang leading into the finals. So it wouldn't surprise me in the least if Melbourne walk away winners.
It's crazy to say. They're obviously 1 and 2 and clear-cut premiership favourites, but I don't think either side have been at their best of late. So I think, knowing the calibre of both teams, that they'll put it all together come tomorrow night, and it's going to be an absolute cracker and just whet our appetite for what's to come in the finals. But I like the Panthers.
And not forgetting too, the minor premiership is on the line. Melbourne Storm obviously ahead of the Panthers, but a wing to the Panthers would go a long way. Despite sitting on top of the ladder, Craig Bellamy is wary of the champion team chasing a fourth straight premiership.
They're so methodical with their game and how they want to play, and very, very disciplined and really tough to play against.
Nathan Cleary, how do you sort of nullify him?
It was shotgun, but he's one hell of a player. A bit of urgency in our line speed and make sure our contact is effective.
How hard to spine those guys coming along?
It has been difficult, with different guys in there. You just like them to be together more often, coming into this time of the year. That's the way it is, and, they've been working really hard to all get on the same page and start, working out those combinations a little bit better.
Shotgun. He wishes. He might need a shotgun.
Yeah, well, I don't think Craig will be getting the double-barrel 12 gauge out, but certainly Nathan Cleary will be on the chopping block. We know how much the Melbourne Storm like to identify key players in the opposition, and there is no doubt that he is going to have a big back rower running at him all evening. I think it'll be Sean Bloor, but we've seen Nathan play both sides of the field a lot in recent times. Geez, I just can't wait for this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic contest. I think for the Melbourne Storm and any team for that matter, if they want to shut down Nathan Cleary, you don't focus on him. You focus on what comes before him. And obviously that's a lot of the hard work and the positions that Penrith put themselves in. But from a purely attacking point of view, I think you target Isaiah Yeo and his ability to run into the line, advance to the B or C defender to give Nathan ball into space. If you can do a job on attacking Isaiah Yeo, really hard work from marker and inside pressure, you go a long way to helping out your outside defenders and the ability for Nathan Cleary to put on those plays.
Yeah, to beat Penrith, you've got to limit Nathan's time and space with the ball. Play the ball down, which we looked at last night. So they've got to fast play the ball. There's no doubt about that. To do that, you have to just slow the ruck down. But again, it's the line speed, I think, against Penrith. And Isaiah Yeo is a big indicator of that with the ball in hand. So you're right. I think if you just focus on Nathan too much, take your eyes off everyone else, they've got some threats all over the park. Now, Bellamy says that the Melbourne Storm spine has been a little disconnected. I've noticed that myself. Have you guys noticed that, and why?
Yeah, I think they definitely have. I think if you look at the performance of their big four, Jerome Hughes has easily been the most consistent and really held that side. I don't think Cam Munster sort of found his feet yet, and you get the sense that he's building to the back half of the year. And I don't think Harry Grant has probably backed up what we saw from him last year. I just don't think he's been able to reach those heights yet so far this year. And, Pappenhausen's still finding his feet after injury as well. So, those guys still have a lot of improvement in them, except for probably Jerome has held that side together, I think, this year.
Jerome's been great.
Jerome is the most informed player in the competition. He's primed for a Dally M winner medal, as far as I'm concerned. I think when I look at the Storm, their last couple of games, they lost to the Dragons. They looked laboured against Souths. I think perhaps, during the Origin period, we obviously know the impact that would have on their Origin players, right? But I think sometimes what coaches do is they'll put such a huge amount of work into their players, almost like a pre-season within the season, knowing they're going to pay a tax for that. I.e., you can't perform at your best, and you put in performances like you're laboured against Souths. But it's designed to have you peak at the back end of the season. You know what's going to come, and you're okay with that, but you're fully aware that the knowledge that you're going to turn the volumes down, turn the dials down in terms of intensity of training, so you can peak going into the back end of the season. And I think with this game, with what's on the line, I don't even look at it as a minor premiership on the line. I think it's you get to finish first, so you get to avoid the Roosters round one of playoffs. So I'm definitely looking at the table. You take the team who will finish fourth as opposed to the Roosters who will finish third.
Before I get to you, Hoops, the way I see the spine at the moment is they haven't played together a lot all year. Jerome has just been 5-star and continues to be, and he's their main man right now and probably will be heading forward. Harry, without Munster and Pappenhausen, Harry's had to take more responsibility throughout the year, and I think with him at the moment, less is more. I think he's trying too hard. That's what I can see when I watch the games. And then if I'm looking at the only way I think Melbourne can win the comp, and I think Cameron Munster is that big moments player, right? So they've got to get him the ball more in key moments in big games, because we've seen it at Origin, we've seen it at the highest level. He loves it and he thrives off that. He just hasn't been getting enough ball the last few weeks. But again, it's finding that balance. It's hard when Jerome's been the main man all year. You still want him to be, because he's going to win close to Dally M, but you've all got to work for each other and work with each other's strengths and get that continuity back. They've lost it a bit, since Cameron's come back in. So some hard work to be done there for Melbourne.
How's Cameron travelling in terms of, he's got to go in and have surgery at the end of the season. Is he restricted at all in terms of?
He's not 100%. Yeah. But he's a lot better now than what he was at the start, and I think he'll probably be around 80% or a bit better heading into the finals. But as you said, you need surgery on both hips, both sides. So I don't think you're going to get him at 100%. But that doesn't mean you're not going to get a 5-star performance out of him.
You raised some interesting points, and you touched on it when you spoke a little minute ago as well, Mick. Is Harry's service? And Craig Bellamy's obviously going to get this right leading into the finals. Yeah. What does Harry need to be thinking first? Is it a run-first mentality, or is it a pass-first, just clean service off the deck mentality?
Yeah, when you got Cameron and you got Jerome either side of the ruck, because Harry's so smart, so quick, so effective, he'll read the ruck. If there's no marker or there's a quick play, the ball, he's off. Bang. He's off. But I think, for the 9, for me, it's about the service.
Yeah, the service is important, but then when you've got those opportunities that present themselves at the ruck, because it is so quick, when you've got the speed of Pappenhausen, so if Grant jumps out, if he can link with Pappenhausen, that's a horrible sight for a middle defender that's backtracking, trying to make a decision. it's great when you've got those options to pass the ball to Munster or to Hughes. One of the things from Melbourne's previous performance as well was the experiment to move Nelson Asafa-Solomona onto the edge. I wonder what Bellamy thinks of that and if we'll see that moving forward. But I think for Melbourne, they're a team that have good balance. When they're playing at their best, they do service the halfbacks, but then they also have that run threat as well.
I think going back to that, for Harry, it's either you run or you pass. Yeah, not think run or think pass.
Okay.
He's getting caught in between a little bit at the moment, and you can see that. There's a little bit of hesitation. But again, he hasn't had that time with his key playmakers, and I think as every game goes, they'll find it in the right time. Now, before kick-off tomorrow night, Matt Nable sits down with Nathan Cleary in an exclusive interview. Here's a sneak peek.
Do you ever think about legacy? You guys win this again, then, you know, opinion becomes fact. This side is, in fact, the greatest ever in the modern era. Do you guys think about that?
Sometimes it's hard not to think about it, you know, just the opportunity in front of us. Also, it's, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, and, you know, we've always been big believers of, you know, cliche as it is, day by day, and just improving each day. And the thing about legacy is it's something that gets spoken about probably further down the track when we're all retired. We can look back and enjoy it and share a beer and talk about the good times. But at the moment, it's just, enjoying what we have in front of us and making the most of it. And, not letting it slip through the cracks.